Hello, happy daughters. I wanted to pop in and show you a new pattern. I decided I'm going to try to do that at least once a week and maybe even more frequently. Today I'm working on my forest themed piece, and I just am in the middle of doing this pattern on my own piece, and I figured, I'll show them how to do it. So I want you to practice it and then post it. And I hope you're thinking about getting a sketchbook so you can put your patterns, once you know how to do them, put them in your sketchbook. And that way, then when you're working on a piece and you build up patterns in your book, you can go to the book and go through your patterns and just pick out a pattern that you like, and then you can modify it, make it bigger, make it smaller, whatever, for your piece. And it really, really helps. So I will post a link in the group for I'll try to find the cheapest sketchbook I can find for you, and then you can choose black or white. I use black just because I paint on black usually. But today I'm going to paint on an MDF board. I had talked to you about this. I think I just posted a link in our group and told you that these are really good for practice, and the link that I posted, I don't remember the price. I want to say it was like $8 and you got like 10 of them or something. But they're big, so you can see I've put a grid on mine, and so you can practice your patterns on it or whatever. And it's way better than cardstock because it's really slick. It's different than the wood on the boards that you'll paint on when you're ready for that. But it's, because it's cheaper, we don't use it for our good work. But it's really, really slick. So scroll down in our group and find the link, and if you're interested in that. All right, so let's get started. I'm gonna start with my green tool, if I can find it. There it is. Large end. I know this isn't the green tool, but it's equivalent to the green tool. And we are going to start at the bottom on the grid line, and we're going to put a dot down. And this is going to be a dot that we're going to swoosh around, so we want it to be a real pretty dot. So 1, 2, 3. Nice plump dot. And if you want to know how I get them this way, there's a video for that too. If it's in the featured section, I believe. But look how pretty that dot is. So pretty. All right. Now, we need a guideline for this design, for this pattern. So you want to get, I'm going to sharpen my pencil real quick. All right. You want to decide where you're going to stop your pattern, and that's going to depend on your piece. You know, if your other stuff is ending on this guideline, then you want to end on the same guideline if you have things in between this pattern. If this is your only pattern, then you can, whatever you want, however big you want it to be. All right, but you start at your gold dot or whatever color you use, and you want to make a V. So I'm going to stop here for the sake of time. And you want to make it an even on both sides, and you want it to be kind of a narrow V. All right. Now, let's swoosh. So I'm going to use the white tool for my swooshes. You can use any stylus you want. The bigger the stylus, the bigger your swooshes are going to be, the less swooshes you'll be able to put in your element. Okay, but I'm gonna go in the middle for this tutorial. So you wanna put a dot at the bottom of your V. Remember, for swooshes, we double and triple because we want them nice and juicy. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Triple. All right. And you get your sharp tool, whether it's a toothpick or if you've invested in a sharp tool. And we're going to swoosh. I'm going to stop at the bottom of the gold at this guideline. You want all your swooshes to stop in the same place because it's all about consistency in a mandala. So I'm going to start at the inside of that dot and I'm going to swoosh it underneath the gold dot, stopping at that guideline. And I've already made my point. So now I'm just going to come around here and shape my swoosh into the shape I want. You could leave it like, I'm gonna go to the other side and do that one. I'm sorry, I'm under the phone, so I'm having kind of a hard time seeing. You could leave it like that, but see how it's got that little nook right there? I like to swoosh that out. So I come to the other side and I just shape my swoosh. I just think it's more pretty. Okay, so there's our first row of swooshes. And you'll start to understand here in a minute what we're doing with the V. It'll start to make sense to you. It'll become clear. And I have a cold today, so pardon the sniffles. All right, let's see. Let's go with number 5, whatever that 5 is. All right, dark brown for me. Okay, now I'm going to stay on the V and I'm just going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to put a dot down. See how I'm following the V. 2, 3. Do the same thing on the other side. If you do both your dots at the same time and then swoosh them, as opposed to doing them one at a time separately, you need to be working pretty quick, because you don't want your second dot that you're going to swoosh to start to dry or to be hard to swoosh. So now I'm probably going to stop my swoosh a little bit higher, but I don't have a guideline, so I'm going to just make a mental note that it's, or you can really take it to the bottom, that it's almost to the bottom, but not just a hair above the bottom. But you could go all the way to the bottom, it doesn't matter. But as we get higher, we won't be able to get to the bottom. So you're gonna have to deal with keeping track of where your swooshes stop. All right, so that's the second row. And that swoosh is not real puffy. Let me put some more paint on it. Even though it's practice, I still want to do my best. All right, that's better. Okay, next color. Use this one. All right. And same thing, except in a further apart because we're following that V. You can see that V, I hope. Let me mark it in. Got a blue. Yeah, maybe that helps. Oops. All right, so pile on the paint. Now I'm going to stop on this. I have a guideline to stop on, and so I'm going to stop on that guideline with every one of these beige swooshes all the way around my mandala. If your tails are all ending in different places, it seems like it's not a big deal, but when you do it right and compare, you'll see that it looks sloppy. You may not consciously pick it up, but the eye picks it up. So take your time and do your best, which of course is all you can do is your best. All right, let's see. Let's move to some green. I think I may have room for 2 more. Nope, this is going to be my last one, which is fine because you get the point and the hang of it now is what we're doing. This one, I'm probably going to stop in between these 2 guidelines. Now you remember, these swooshes are close to each other, but they are not touching. Absolutely not touching. But real close together. If you get them too close together and they touching, it will look like one big blob. The design will not be crisp. So I can't think of any situation where I let my swooshes touch except during brush strokes. But with tools, I never let my swooshes touch, except at the bottom if they're meeting together at the bottom, maybe, because I may want that effect, but that would be the only time. All right, isn't that pretty? Now you can take, like, I don't know, what colors do I have here? Got like a cream color. You can do something like, let me get a different tool, get a small tool. Something like, I could put a big dot there. I'm just going to use cream, but you could use different colors. You could put a gradient. You could use the same gradient to walk some dots down here. I'm going to start with the green tool. Put a big dot there. Yeah, I'm just going to walk the dots with the green tool. Let me get some more paint. But you could there's a lot of possibilities for this space here in the middle. There we go. I think that's really pretty. I should have been zoomed in for you guys, but ain't you pretty? Okay, there you go. There's another pattern, and practice it and post it. I'd love to see your work. If you're too shy to post in the group, then you can send it to me privately, and I'll do my best to help you out if you're having trouble, or I'll rant and rave about how good it is. Okay, I will see you soon, but bye for now.